is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a video uploaded to the Snort Burnell YouTube channel linked down below, where they'd uploaded clips of a recent Darksydephil livestream, showcasing some of his finest qualities as a human being, where he spends less time entertaining and more time begging. In before obligatory comments are made about me begging. It's been a while, but while you're here, smash the like. That's all I ask for really. In the case of Phil, he's not interested in likes because they mean very little to him. What he's interested in is hard numbers that are prefaced by a $sign, and if it's not over a certain amount, he's not going to be interested. This is a typical trait for a number of live streamers, not a dig, not even a slight in the slightest towards the majority. It is after all a occupation, and one should of course promote themselves to get the audience to give up their hard-earned cash. In the case of Phil, it's what he wants to use it on. He may well cite it as a form of, yes, but you're paying for the privilege of my entertaining you. Based on how often he asks for donations, and how bad he is at video games, on very many platforms he uses, I'm inclined to believe it's more about those in-game transactions. So let's dive into this video and showcase those qualities in all their glorious form.
Please support the stream. Right now, we are at $18 of support. Alright? So, the goal is 150. Earlier today, we didn't even get close. We got 70. Alright? We're trying to hit these goals so we can do the marathon this week. This big Viewer's Choice Marathon. You guys are currently voting on what games you want to see for that and what you want me to do. You know, we're going to have some booze and food, and it's going to be fun. Later on this week, hopefully. I want to do it by Friday at the latest. But I need more support in order to do that. We got to be hitting these goals. We didn't hit it earlier. Let's hit it tonight.
I don't know how it is for other streamers, but I sort of set goals and I don't generally make it a point to highlight them. My friend Cog, who does comment on DSP from time to time, he does promote his links, but he doesn't tell people, oi, you should give me your money because we've got to hit this goal. He never does that. He has a goal and usually hits it. In the case of Phil, he usually does hit his goals as well. I didn't realise he'd branched out to using Kick as well, a platform rife with only 1 or 2 real users and several thousand bots, unless you're the Kino Casino, in which case, thousands of botted accounts. I'm not going to turn my nose up or look down at those who stream on Kick, but seeing the actual numbers of people watching shows a massive disparity, typically 1 in 5, possibly more if you're the Kino Casino. And because we know that involves money being spent on it, we know DSP won't be using it.
Alright, now, we have a 1 membership, right? No, 2 memberships, and a couple small tips. Guys, let's get it going. We got nothing on Kick all day today. Literally, we have not had a single piece of support on Kick today. What is going on over there?
I feel like I've already answered that in the previous comment. As far as your lack of donations go, you also need to consider the time of year. People have just done their taxes. People have gotten over Christmas. Others just don't want to waste their money on you. You say small tips. If I ever get a donation, I don't care how big or small it is, I'm going to show gratitude and be, well, grateful. You're not that guy. You don't know how to introspect, you don't know how to take a joke, you don't know how to appreciate, you take too much for granted, and you're an ungrateful twerp. I prefer smeghead, but twerp sounded better.
Right? Like, I don't understand what's going on over there. Nothing all day. All the time, people say, man, Phil plays too many mainstream games. He just doesn't play the indies, right? So here's an interesting indie game. Someone has recommended it. Someone even donated it. I said, let's play it. So far, I think the first hour is intriguing. I'm having a good time with it, and I hope that you guys are at least enjoying the story. You know, there's not much to it but story, right? But I don't get it, because I swear every time that we do indies, this happens.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it? A guy whose most notable contributions to the gaming space centre around him sucking at the big games is not getting any interest, views, or donos for the indie games. If you hear snoring in the background, my cavaliers are being very vocal about this. The point really is that you shouldn't expect to receive equal contributions for an indie game when your viewership would undoubtedly suffer for a game people are less interested in. They want to see you do what you do best, not begging, sucking. Now if only you could apply that to something IRL, you'd probably find another market you could in fact capitalise on. Sucking. Wise anyway.
I'm not even kidding. I wish this was like an exaggeration. It's not. People always say, well, you only play the mainstream. Why don't you go and play other stuff? I'm like, well, guess what? Now, with my new setup, my high-end gaming PC, my new capture device, new face cam, we can do whatever we want. We can play any games, right? There's no limitations to the games that we play.
I have a gaming laptop. I use OBS. You can just game capture on OBS. Why do people feel they have to overcomplicate their setups? I have 2 screens in my bedroom I've been using for years, yeah, which is quite handy for looking at the chat and playing the game on the other side, 100%, but you don't need to make it complicated or spend unnecessary amounts of money to get that very best setup, or to use it as a brag like, bitch, I've invested into this, you guys now need to support me because of it. That is such an entitled attitude. When it comes to replacing your stuff, yeah, okay, set a stream goal, but don't expect your audience to cover it. Outright, that is. Spoken with no level of irony because I believe my audience did in fact pay for the microphone I use. The laptop, though, I paid for myself. I earned it by working my arse off at Christmas 2 years ago. That, as an investment, did not come with me then saying, by the way, guys,
Give me all your money, you smegheads, and I expect $money now.
no. You damn well get on with your job, and if you're less of a prick, it'll come your way. Hard work is supposed to pay off after all.
So this game comes along, let's play it, and I get like 18 bucks of support so far tonight. Let's hope it turns around. I'm gonna play for another hour, all right? Let's hope that we get more, all right? But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be pretty disappointing if everyone always asks for indies, but then when I play them, no one wants to show up and support them. I hate that.
But they have turned up to support it. You've mentioned how much they have paid so far. You also mentioned the game was free, so you're not losing money here. I know you stream 2 to 3 times a day at intervals. I get it. And you have like a baseline that you set yourself. But you made loads of money after like the Kino Casino stuff. You had the income for a while and then people realized you actually still suck. You've had opportunities to do better and you've turned your nose up at it. Now you expect the audience to just keep on giving it to you because you're moaning they're not anyway. You are the template for what I consider most of the TikTok live streamers who just sit there begging for certain amounts of stickers or whatever alerts through coins. They learnt this crap, this grift, from people like you. You, Chris Chan, actually there are others like that. Basically you.
Because I like variety. I've told you guys, I like doing variety. I would prefer to have wider horizons and be able to play more and more variety of stuff. But I need people to actually support those streams then, you see?
I fully support variety being added to one's arsenal when it comes to the content they produce on their channels, their pages. I've been doing something similar when it comes to gaming on Twitch as well. However, I'm not so stupid as to believe that that will always mean everyone's going to turn up and everyone's going to support. You set goals that are unmanageable based on those daily standards. $50 to $100 is it per stream? You're just not good enough. You're not as entertaining as the big guys. You're just a perennial, a perpetual streamer type who's always there, eking out an existence even though you have had, and arguably still do have, everything anyway. Because of the nature of who you are, I don't know how many more years you're going to be able to keep doing this. Professional. Although it can be argued you're not very professional in the first place, this has been your job for quite some time. The fact you're still at it in this manner with this attitude is a testament to, well, either how stupid your audience are, or how thick you are and incompetent you are.
Well, Joe, there is no constant pressure to support, because I've only mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, and then I mentioned it right now, because there hasn't been much. So now you can enjoy your ban and you can get out of my stream because you're a bitch. Okay.
This is where Phil can't handle criticism, and is ungrateful as well. There is a possibility the user criticizing him could have been a sub, paid member. It could have been a former donator as well. But then realizing Phil is genuinely ungrateful and sets the goals far too high, he comes across as a massive fraud. I don't know what his cost of living is where he is, but after all the years of being on the platform, I'd be hard-pressed to believe he didn't own some form of property, or multiple. It'd be hard-pressed for me to believe that he doesn't have some money squirreled away, but at the same time, based on what he blows a lot of his money on, it's equally possible he doesn't. I don't believe that. I do believe he has money. I believe he's thrifty when it comes to it. I think most of his diet consists of the phlegm he hawks up and then swallows back down.
No, nothing on Kick at all today. Seriously. Absolutely nothing on Kick today. Let's get some support over on Kick. I'm looking at some of you. Some of you guys are regulars. No support today. We need some support on Kick, especially if you've been sitting there all day watching. All right? Open your wallets. Send some subs. Support the king. Support the stream. Okay?
I don't generally acquiesce to demands. I don't generally negotiate with a terrorist of the gaming community by being so bad at it that you want to hold them ransom, where you'll only play bad and continue to do so if they give you money by opening their wallets. I assume next you want them to spread their legs or their cheeks for you too. What's amusing about this is, even if these are clips from one stream spread out, no one can argue they're taken out of context, because this is genuinely what Phil does every single day, 2 to 3 times a day. I don't understand how other streamers could do 8 to 10 hour streams. I really don't. I start to go senile after like 2, maybe 3. I don't have the attention span for it. In the case of Phil, I don't think he has the attention span either, but he bases a lot of his validation or his energy on validation. And if there's a lack thereof monetarily, he sees that as a slight at his business, his franchise. Reality is, people just don't want to give you money.
All right, let's continue now.
A demon horse. There's like an hour left. Yeah, we're not beating it tonight then. Yeah. And it sucks, because like you guys see, I like the game, but no one's supporting it. Getting a third of the goal. It's like, and then people complain you don't play indie games. Well, where were you? Why didn't you show up for the indie game?
I have no idea what that game is, and in truth I'm not remotely interested, because I know a lot of people are not interested in the games he plays. Even if 1 or 2 people ask for it, they want to see him spurg out when he doesn't hit his goals monetarily. They want to see him talk about his money problems, because contradictions arise and hypocrisies are, well, plenty. They also want to see him suck at the games because rage. He is one of the worst video game players to ever grace the internet, which means he is one of the most interesting because of how bad he is at them. I'm not saying as you get older things start to diminish, but his reaction times were always bad when he was younger. You could argue it would get better over time, but that's not the case. In this, people just don't care, Phil. They really don't. And you really are a bratty entitled. I really hope you're not a millennial. I really hope you're not, because my generation get called entitled a lot. I don't like it. If you, my viewer, want to call me an entitled millennial, at least start with a polite liking of the video first. Thank you. My like goal for the day is 1, because I'm not as entitled as Phil.
It's a mutant deformed horse.
Some of these sound effects and soundtracky qualities remind me of Little Nightmares, just not the visuals.
Am I disappointed? Of course I am. On the first stream, we didn't even get halfway to the goal. On the late stream, we only got a third to the goal. Between the 2 streams today, we didn't even hit 1 goal of support.
Allegedly, your goals are typically $150 or up to $150, from 100 to 150 per stream. Half, barely, a third, means you were close to 1 goal over 2 streams. That's still 150. If I made that in 1 day, I'd be a very happy chappy. If I was making that daily, yeah, I'd be even happier. You don't stream for 8 to 10 hours a day in 1 sitting, so it's not a full-time thing you do. You do it in increments of up to 2 hours, I believe. So even if you hit $150 over 4 hours, you still made pretty good money. Like $37.50? Is that it? For an hour? That's better than most. Let's face it here. You're not some rock star game streamer. No, you're just Darksydephil, the guy who fapped with the camera still on.
Now, to be clear, yesterday we hit 3 goals, and it was not all 1 person. Okay, because some people, they say, oh, it's because 1 person came by. No, yesterday there was a lot of people who came by and supported. But what did we do yesterday, right? We did some Ninja Gaiden, and then on the late stream last night, we finished up Dino Crisis. So it seems like retro games are doing better than anything else right now. Have you noticed? Dark Souls, Dino Crisis, and Ninja Gaiden are bringing people out who want to support. I'm shocked that today we didn't get much support for both Call of Duty and for this new game, Mouthwashing, an indie game that people seem to want, right? So
you may have noticed the comment on the screen, which is incredibly accurate for Phil. He's never satisfied with doing just enough or getting by, because the money he gets, he expects more of it. Because if someone's giving him that money, they can afford more money. Apparently you, the pay pigs, to him anyway, as opposed to what you are, humans, oiks, plebs, peasants, whichever you prefer really, are beneath him, and this part of his character, this fundamental flaw within it, is one of his main character traits that resides in all of his streams. It's why he e-begs so much, in so many streams. It's why then when he doesn't hit his goal, it drags into, subsequent streams, until the goal has been hit enough times that he's forgotten that he didn't make the money, and now he's going to complain he wasn't given even more money.
I turn my head and boom, shooting pain. Right here in the back of my neck, all the way down the back of my right shoulder into my shoulder blade. Right here, I could feel the deep pain in the muscle. And it continues through the shoulder, out to the arm. Now the good news is it hasn't radiated further than that. It's basically neck and shoulder pain right now. It is what it is. I'm gonna tough through it today. Good news is, like I said, I can feel my thumb. Like, it's not like I'm super numb or anything. I think I should be able to play games, no problem.
But I guess we have that medical bill and we now need to worry about, am I right, Phil? In before someone says, yes, but medical bills are legit, when it involves anyone else but Phil. Phil is using a rather weak tea tactic to try and drum up additional interest in painkillers. If I'd known that, I would have asked for someone to give me money to buy Neuramol for a migraine I had during a Glory Hammer gig I went to, 2 days ago? Yeah, that almost spoiled the gig for me. And then I met some singers from respective bands and Hootsie and I were going to meet up, but sadly, didn't happen. But he has my number now, so he could probably work that out in the future. And I'll destroy him a blood bowl once I've learned how to play it. The point really when it comes to is this attitude towards his audience, this attitude towards gaming as well. He highlighted that some of these indie games do good on numbers. Dino Crisis, by the way, yes. I'd like to play the old dinosaur game. Was it Turok? Was that it? I remember playing that on PlayStation. Games like that are fantastic. But Phil expects too much of his audience, so he should play, and this is a smart idea, stick to the core games for his regular streams, and if he wants to play indie games, make some time in his hectic schedule of nothing to do a bonus stream just playing an indie game for a laugh, as opposed to putting it in where your normal stuff goes, knowing it might, well, not then, harm your baseline. How's that? Some smart... I thought I'd give you some advice for free. There's a lot more in this, by the way, this video, but I doubt I can do it anymore today, sadly. As with everything I do, I'd love to know what you think about Phil. Please let me know in the comments. Going to be streaming on Twitch tonight, some Star Trucker. Hope to see you there. Was meant to stream last night, but was too late. If not, have a wonderful day. And no, I don't set a dono goal for the stream. And thank you all very much for listening.